tokens scaled to size. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing with Leonardo the Balance and Michelangelo the Heart, two partner commanders that you can pair together because of Character Select, which lets you pick from a bunch of the different commanders from the TMNT Precon. Leonardo the Balance will put +1/+1 counters on your creatures on turns where you make a token, and Michelangelo will make a token on turns where you attacked, which allows you to go from attacking in to getting huge, and of course triggering this with other cards in the deck. This deck isn't just green-white though, because Leonardo the Balance, for some silly reason, has a 5-color ability. It's so you can play him as the commander of the TMNT deck, but you're really not going to do that very often. This deck does have the ability to make the 5-color happen, so you can buff all your stuff, giving Menace, Trample, and Lifelink, but really, this is an Abzan deck. I'm playing green, I'm playing white, and I'm playing a little bit of black, because black has a lot of very good cards that can make a token every turn, or reward you for having +1/+1 counters put on your cards. This deck is going wide. It's playing a lot of turn 1 creatures that can help you ramp. It's also looking to get +1/+1 counters and +1/+1 counter synergy, whether it's landfall getting counters, increasing the number of counters, or drawing cards on counters. Hey look, Mikey and Leo, just like the commander. You're going to be doing an awful lot of getting huge in this deck. In fact, this deck is most similar to Felithar Dawn of the Abzan, a deck I had built back when it had come out that was making a lot of tokens, sacrificing some of them, and putting tons of +1/+1 counters on your creature. But you don't even need to sacrifice in this deck, you just need to make a token. And since these two make tokens for each other, you can also just trigger it and take advantage of the fact that the tokens are getting you more creatures to put more counters on, so you can go wide and take your opponents down. So let's take Leo and Mikey into the queue and see what scales takes us. Yuriko, going to be doing some ninjutsu, some nasty ninjutsu. I really wish this commander weren't available in Arena because, I don't know, I feel like having a command tax is important. You not playing anything on turn 1? Okay, so I guess I won't be Swords to Plowsharing. It's a random evasive 1 drop. Unless, of course, they drop an Ornithopter right here. Well, 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 Ornithopter. Looks like you are going to meet your end. If you're wondering why hit Ornithopter instead of Yuriko, if you get rid of Yuriko, she always costs 2 mana. Always. Always! Very annoying. Oh, Badger Cub. A little bit of ramp. Boop. Fairy Dream Thief. Oh, I think everyone knows that Yuriko is a mistake. I'm gonna play this bug. Start spitting out tokens. Gonna be good for Leonardo. And I can play him next turn and then have landfall and have like 1 on my turn, 1 on their turn to get buffs for both. Bugga bugga. Bugga bugga bug 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 bugga bug. Fairy Dream Thief? That's no Fairy Dream Thief. That's Yuriko! And Yuriko reveals the top card. Thankfully it was a 1-drop Lantern Bearer. And I play it. Comes Leonardo. Landfall. Buff it. End the turn. On their turn, I'll do it again. And look, I have blockers even. Oh, never mind. She's unblockable. Ka-chunk. Aqueous Form means Yuriko cannot be blocked. If they have another ninja in hand, they could ninjutsu this. And then have 2 different triggers for Yuriko, too. It looks like that's what's happening. Is it the Coochie Silencer? No, Skull Snatcher. Is that discard, too? No, Exiles from Graveyard. Cute rat. Okay, they hit a land and then Okiba Gang Shinobi. An Obi-Wan Shinobi. Yeah, Sally. Yeah. Ka-chunk. Sally's awesome in this deck. Sally's just awesome. This card rules. It has a 70% win rate in limited for a reason. But it's cool everywhere. Thank you, Sally. Thanks for making all those. It's really cool of you. Well, Drotha, the Gravetide, they go first and they'll be filling up their graveyard, which is part of why I think this hand is all right. It has Lord Skinner in it, who can eat up graveyards to make it a little bit harder for them to bring things back. Just a little. Oh, Malakir Meyer. And an Exploration. Didn't play that on turn 1, though. Wonder if they just drew that. Go for my fetch into the Triome. And they definitely had access to green mana on turn 1. They had either this or the fetch or both. Actually, maybe not, because then if that was already in their hand... No, it would be one or the other. They ramped. They have 4 mana going into their next turn. A land in the graveyard that they can recur. Ooh, Dredger's Insight. I see Reanimation. I see a dog. I really hope I get a land so I can Rosie into Lord Skitter. That is unfortunately not a land. I could still play Rosie here. I could also Mikey to get the counter on that. Rosie Cotton it is. Get that counter on that Incubation Druid. I've got 6 mana. Shimmerwild's Growth makes it 7. Blue. Cool Dog does a little bit more milling. Can grab a land. Hey, come on, a Ricksmithy's a land. Let them grab a Ricksmithy's. They should be allowed to have a Ricksmithy's. I still didn't get a land. The deck has a lot of lands in it. This happens sometimes. I will use the 3 mana from you to get some of this. And bring out Lord Skitter. I'll hit Necromancy since that is a permanent they can play to reanimate other things. And I'll buff Lord Skitter. He is the rat. He's a good rat. I love that rat is just making tokens every turn. Ooh, or we could just get hit by a board wipe and reset right back down. Oh, that's tough. I'll play the Kami and Delighted Halfling, just set up more mana so I can potentially get multiple spells and trigger some abilities next turn. If I spend 3 mana for Felithar, I could sacrifice the food to get more counters on the Kami. I still have plenty of mana here. You want to play a Ricksmithy's? Invasion of Zendikar? This dog? It's a good dog. It's a good dog. They're hitting a Ricksmithy's, who is a 12/12, but starts as a land. Okay, I'll start with Felithar. Felithar has a snack. These all get +2/+2. I can use the +2/+2 to to defend myself with Elspeth. By making a couple of 1/1s. I could have also, I guess, killed Muldrotha with the minus. But I think this is all right, just like with what they currently have in Graveyard. Admittedly, they can mill some good stuff, though, off the Enoch Wayfarer. Enoch? Dog guy from Tarkir. They're milling, they're milling, they're milling. Ooh, Terminus. This is almost a 12-12. But not quite. They're milling, they're milling, they're milling. They have not played an enchantment, but I'm not sure if they can play another land, or if they've already played two. Honest work. Turned one of these into a 1/1 with no other abilities. They hadn't played their second land. If they grab green mana, they'll have access to this, and blue mana, access to that. Alright, Breeding Pool, they're going to turn Felithar into a I have no abilities. And she's tapped. And her counters get removed. Aww. It ain't much. But it's honest work. I block. I'll gain a life, since one of my critters died. Good. More lands. I'll bring out Leonardo to start. I should have tapped that for it. Make the tokens. The tokens give us the counters. The counters give us the Mikeys. And the role models. And I can swing in. With Reluctant Role Model, if a creature dies, I get to move their counters. Also, now I get to put more +1/+1 counters on things. Alright, who wants them? I just want ramp. Gimme. Ooh, and twice the food, too. She gave up fighting to open a tea shop. I mean, Uncle's having a great time. I love Uncle Iroh. Zuko's just like, ugh. They're milling. We keep an eye on the things that get milled. I see a Tival, a Hobbit. The Utopia Sprawl is just 1 mana for an extra mana. Eryximethys, you don't have counters anymore. Sweetie, you're not asleep anymore. You're awake now. Next turn, I believe I can just 0 and win? I don't think I could do that last turn. Oh my god, what if I could have done that last turn? Hold up. Yeah, I may have actually had lethal off, like, Conclave Mentor and just using the 0 ability. If so, my bad. They got Might in that. Some creatures have died. I'll lose some life. They'll gain some life. I will buff Birds of Paradise and Mikey, because I already have plenty of mana on you. Wonder what this one card that's left is. These nice, fair self-milling cards. Oh, okay. They're using the Terminus to reset Muldrotha. This will also let them reanimate. But I think just the scales flying, that'll do it. Eryximethys, you're already awake. Eryximethys is such a goober. Conclave Mentor for extra scales. Make him go. up. Oh, no, replacement effects that are all identical. Yeah, you're all the same. You're all the same. It's lethal. A lot of damage in the air coming through. GG. Hey, bye, Forest Guardian, grabbing shrines when it enters the battlefield. I have an alright start here. I have removal. One of the removals can even hit enchantments. Start with the breeding pool, my one island, Verdant Catacombs. Catacombs, I'm probably just going to grab the Selesnya land. Ooh, Deathrite Shaman. I know what I want. It's to attack with an Arboreal Grazer. Mikey likes that. Oh, how come you get to have my wife on your sleeves? I don't have these sleeves. I love Soundwave. He's great. Aw, man. Hey. I have kill spells. I think you drop Get Lost because it can hit enchantments. Hey there. I totally wasn't going to use that on your shrines. And now I'm less likely to, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be Fateful Absencing mostly in this deck anyway. I don't have red permanents. I'm not a brother killer. Well, sometimes I'm not a brother killer. Gonna swing in with Michelangelo the Heart. Hey, give me this. Give me these. Rigid, because she's big ramp. She's awesome in any go-wide deck. Also, she can make you a token every turn, which is good for Leonardo. They're lightning bolting Bridget. I still do get the 1/1. Hey, you know what? That's better that they bolted that than Mikey. Oh, it's worse for me, but like... At least now we get to keep this out. There are still lands in the graveyard, so they can get to 4 mana, and we'll see what Heibai hits and what Heibai reveals. Okay. It's land, Honden. The fact that it's Night Reach, that's like a good sign, though. Didn't get a land. Man. Alright. Tommy of Whispered Hopes. I'll swing in with the 1/1. I got plenty of lands in this deck. Not that you'd know it. I have to discard. I will probably discard Suki. Sorry, Suki. You're awesome. But I don't even have double white without this. This is another very boltable creature. Hallowed Fountain into Thassa. Thassa will be able to blink Heibai, which means they probably won't attack with it since I could double block with these, and I would feel pretty good about that. Ah, good grief. They're gonna get rid of my Johnny. Or maybe the Fateful Absence. I don't know. Skablink. Skablank. And the next shrine they find is... London of Life's Web. Oh my goodness, look at this. Their deck that is, yes, a lot of removal and interaction, but they're actually running shrines. Thank goodness. Y'all don't understand, like... I get very frustrated when I see just, like, no shrines get played. I'm gonna go Conclave Mentor. Attack with Arboreal Grazer. This means that we will not be getting the trigger from the Leonardo here, because I am looking to use that. To buff this, it's going to get 3 +1/+1 counters, which means we can tap it for white. Go Leonardo post-combat. This way I have no cards in hand. A Johnny. Now everybody gets 3 +1/+1 counters. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. These are all identical. Identical replacement effects I shouldn't have to click on. I discard nothing. They get 2 1/1s. I don't need lands. I got a Kami of Whispered Hopes, and they haven't killed it yet. Do you think my opponent just, like, really likes robot guys? Because they also have, yeah, Krang in the robot suit up here. Oh, Sunwave's so cool. Sanctum of All. That'll be tutoring and eventually doubling their shrine triggers. Hey! I love Sally. Sally! Get out here. Sally Pride is also a cat. I mentioned this because if Johnny says if a cat dies, I flip out. And now I also have red permanents. Yay! No, not this again. Not this again. You can turn this off, but it's important for a couple different scales things, which is why I don't have it separated. Okay, probably should have eaten something there. Get in there. Jesus, Arena, yeah. It's under, if this is bothering you, gameplay, auto-ordered triggered abilities, auto-ordered replacement effects. Those are the 2 things that can make it go a little faster, but it will occasionally mess things up for you. That one's got trample. And it looks like they don't have any mass removal, so we're gonna win the game. 3 lands and 1 spirit. Codie, Vociferous Codex. Once he's in play, you're not able to cast non-permanent or permanent spells, which means that the deck is usually filled with good instants and sorceries. And those instants and sorceries, you don't double them, but you get like a fake cascade out of Codie. And those fake cascades are pretty darn good. I got a bird. That's also pretty darn good. Hey, Codie. Codie's a cutie. Weird book. We're about to go back to Strixhaven. I got one of my Strixhaven shirts on right now. I wonder if Codie will be there. Want to be aggro, Guide of Souls, Mikey. But I don't trust a Codie deck to not have a bunch of board wipes. Hey, Karnak! Thank you for the 45-month resub! And thank you for subscribing at tier 2. Hot dog. Codie was in the story episode with Brawl. Oh, I haven't read it yet. The, suspiciously silver quill roll. I wonder what's going on with that. I'm going to play Mikey and Leo, and then Mikey, and then attack in with the Birds of Paradise for 0 to get a +1/+1 counter to draw a card. I like that this deck is Mikey and Leo and Mikey and Leo. Esper Sentinel. Guard me from their chromatic lanterns. Okay, Planner Genesis, that's fine. I could smash that, though. Do I go for Leonardo? No. Hey, let me smash. And we put the counters on this because it will tax like a board wipe if they play it. Scrombat! Here's Codie. So they're not wiping the board here. Good. I have a lot of tutus. A cursed wombat. That was weird. There's just a strange flash of light. Oh, I played these in the wrong order. Doesn't matter. Let's make everything really big. Starting with Sentinel. I want the Sentinel to be the biggest against them. Get that. Gives us all of these. They all get an additional +1/+1 counter. And now this is a dude. They have enough mana to, say, Cyclonic Rift. They have enough mana for really anything. Like an extra turn. Haha, I get to draw. Oh, they get an extra turn. And from their extra turn, they get in Ill-Timed Explosion, which can just be I draw 2 cards, or they could wipe the board. What? You don't think they want to play to 5? Why not? I feel like with the extra turn here, unless you have another board wipe in hand, like with the size of this, I think you're just going for it. Wow, they dropped another extra turn spell to be like, yeah, I'm wiping this. Yes, I move my 2 commanders back to the command zone. I'm so not used to having 2 commanders. And I like don't play many partners decks. If I can, I want to go Suki, Felithar, Foodathar. On their extra turn, they shocked. Suki. Felithar. Felithar sacrifices a food. Suki then makes a creature, and we get +1/+1 counters on each of them. I feel like I'm about to get rifted, though. Oh, Magma Opus! Oh, that's fine, too. I like Magma Opus. It's like one of those quintessential big dumb spell. What does it do? Big lot of it. Here's Codie. They still got 3 mana up. They also got a Elemental. Alright, with Elspeth, I think I might have lethal with these two. Let's see. 6, and then it would become 7, 8 on the attack. 9, 10. I have 10 damage. Very much not quite lethal. Guide of Souls. Esper Sentinel. The Storm Slayer. Going for the flying anyway. If I had made tokens, it also wouldn't have been quite enough. We could chunk and take them to 1. They're a 5-color deck. We already know that they are fresh with the fetch. And take them to 1 life. With a flying 3/3 Esper Sentinel to defend me. They use Codie to make an additional mana and Ruinous Ultimatum! They can pay the 3. They did pay the 3, and they find a cursed idol, which I guess this is so weird. They're going to create a treasure token and venture into the dungeon. Because it's free, and there's nothing else left for the other modes. They went into the dungeon of the Mad Mage so they gain 1 life. Not gonna lie, it's pretty funny to me. I feel like I should get rid of Codie, even though it gains them 1 life. Basking Brood Scale. Mikey. It reduces the amount of just, like, value they're able to get. Emergent Ultimatum. They've already done 1 extra turn. We've seen another in the graveyard. My guess, though, is they have some very good impactful spells that would just take me down. Because all I got is a lizard and a turtle. various reptiles. An extra turn spell. An extra turn spell. Or all of their spells are free forever. I'll just like that. All of them are terrible and I hate it. If only Codie were in play, then they wouldn't actually be able to cast the Omni on it. It's real. Alright, in your many extra turns, what do you do? First of all, you bash me for 4, yep. Guess you're getting 2 extra turns. Maybe more. I think there are too many extra turn spells available in Brawl. Oh, they're ramping? This is so many permanent spells for Codie. Hi, Codie. I mean, I could run all of those spells in this deck. Okay, that's 2 more extra spells. Extra turns. I'm out. I don't want more. Torarch, Dread, Canter. I matched into 3 Torarchs with this deck in a row earlier, which, sure, I guess discard is the only card that we're ever gonna see. This is an alright hand, though, so I will keep this. What makes this hand kind of nice is that I can go Incubation Druid, assuming it lives. I can put a counter on it with Rosie, and then immediately tap it for Suki. And that seems good. I have an Incubation Druid. Now, this might get Fatal Pushed, Cut Down, Bitter Triumphed, Infernal Grasp, go for the Throated. Soldier's Edict. No, they're playing Waste Not. I should also mention that Torarch, when it enters play, will be using him to Torarch, making us discard cards at random. Well, if I can use up the cards in my hand first, then that's a lot less of an issue. Here comes Suki. Yeah, Torarch also has protection from white, makes me discard at random, which will benefit the Waste Not, but a lot of my creatures won't be able to get through. And the more I discard, the bigger it gets, and my Fateful Absence will sit here and not do anything. Looks like they're looking for some more lands. It does cost 4 to play this with the kick. I feel like you never want to not be kicking it. I'll tap you for triple white and play Leonardo. Then a Johnny. We're going to get some buff in here. A Johnny, by the way, there are no red permanents in this version of this deck. So in case you were wondering, Amy, do you have anything other than just making a token a turn off the backside? The answer is no. This Ajani is purely here to, you know, be a good card that makes a token when it enters. At one point, I even had like the Spider-Man that makes a 2/1 spider, but this is the same thing, but more stats. And if the cat dies, and we have 2 other cats in the deck, 3 other cats? 3 other cats in the deck. It flips and we can make a token a turn. Also, yeah, psychic damage. It's Johnny, it's really good. Vraska Golgari Queen can destroy almost every permanent in my deck with her minus. And she has a great sacrifice ability that can draw them cards and gain them a little life, recycling things like temporary tokens and turning them into permanent advantage. Hey, Gilly Goodberry, thank you for the sub. I hope you're ready for ramp into other stuff. Avacyn's Pilgrim on turn 1. Leonardo doesn't die to her, but they're a deck that I'm sure has good kill spells. Whoa, okay, wait, turn 1 Dark Ritual. Liliana of the Veil. They're gonna minus. There goes the Pilgrim. I can Fateful Absence her, but I don't know, I'd really prefer not to if I don't have to. One Mikey, please. I'll be dropping Guide of Souls. It's a symmetrical discard, so the plus, like, you know, gotta work a little bit harder for it. Turn 1 Liliana, though, is pretty good. Wooded foothills. Them grab green. We each discard. I will drop Guide of Souls. Nice. World Breaker. It can be brought back from their graveyard to their hand. Tithing Blade. Oh, man. It's removal for Mikey. Edicted and evicted. Birds of Paradise. And I'm just going to kill the Liliana here. Be gone, fiend! Yeah, these Edict cards would have been a lot better if I had the token makers first. That's what I was hoping Chatterfang, like with Mikey, was going to be able to do. They dig up, get in the land, and playing Ripples, some self-mill. Mikey plus birds, so I can kick off these engines. Would you like to get Vraska, Birds of Paradise, or Dismember? They chose Dismember. Abrupt Decay on the birds. They can cast this for 1 mana and 4 life. They probably will, based on how they're taking this turn. Bye, Mikey. Chatterfang or Kutzil, both very killable by Vraska. Leonardo, not killable by Vraska. Leonardo it is! Not how I want to be making the decision for the turn, but I'll take it. They did not get a kill spell on Ripples. They did get a land, though. But they're already down to 13 life. Have I hit them? I attacked them for 0. They're now at 10. These are also, like, nice permanents that they could sacrifice there. Oh, Hopeless Nightmare. It's for the Swamp Walk. I ended up getting a land, so I'm going to play Mikey. Michelangelo, the heart. I could also activate Leonardo. That's why I went for the breeding pool. I have Wooburg. There is these are the 2 shock lands that are in this deck just because Leo can use them. At one point, I actually built a separate version of this deck that is running... It's running Ragavan and Tameo and a couple other sources for these colors. But I don't know. Casualties of War. But I thought it was very funny to just be like, yeah, I have every single fetch except for 1. May as well make it so I can actually use the 5-color ability that is giving this deck 5 colors. Vraska, do you want to kill Mikey? Vraska kills Mikey.
I wanted that taken out too.
And it looks like we are winning the game. GG. Krang Mastermind. Krang will be discounting himself by playing lots of cheap artifacts, then refilling the hand and getting more cheap artifacts. I got Avacyn's Pilgrim on turn 1. Turn 2, I can set up Mikey and make a token. Or I could go for the Thunderbond Vanguard, Chatterfang, these like tokens-related cards. Oh, hey, Emporium Thopterus. Gives them a nice artifact every turn. So even though they're an artifacts deck, they're still a blue deck. So I'm playing Kutzil here, so they cannot cast spells during my turn. Also, it has, like, synergy with the +1/+1 counter side of the deck. It's important to me that they can't cast spells during my turn. They can still activate abilities, but no spells. Patchwork Automaton. They cast the Ornithopter. It is a 2/2 Ornithopter thanks to the Thopterus. This is now a 3/3. They have just the 1 mana. This doesn't tap for anything right now. I don't have my token makers. Other than Mikey here. So I'll play Chatterfang. Pass the turn. Oh, you know him, old Patchwork Automaton. Oh, Forensic Gadgeteer. Whenever they cast an artifact, they'll investigate. And they're able to sacrifice those clues for just 1 mana. And like other abilities that are sacrificing artifacts. Food. Maps. Except it can't reduce it below 1 mana. I want to thin my deck. Maybe grab a basic for Abandoned Air Temple. Bring on Mikey. Elithar. I'm gonna chomp up that Avacyn's Pilgrim. Yum yum. And I'm attacking again because I really want Mikey to trigger. Ideally triggering with Chatterfang still in play, but they're not a mono black deck. I don't have Forest Walk, Swamp Walk, or whatever it is. Yeah, I would just like, I don't know, double block and block. But if I'm going to attack to trigger this, I may as well attack with both. Cool, I'll kill the Gadgeteer. My creatures, no! Mikey grow! These both have trample, and now I have food that I can sacrifice to Felithar. Yet again, Ornithopter. Any more that you want to play before Krang comes out? Oh, Solemn Simulacrum. I guess no Krang this turn. Swinging with a couple Ornithopters. Popping up a Storm. Guide of Souls. Shock this in. Wait. Oh no! I needed to name Turtle on that. I goofed up. Well, guys, I goofed up. I didn't realize I did not have another white source. I had been relying on the Avacyn's Pilgrim, which I ate. Yeah, that's a punt. Means I do not get the team buff here. I do like, by the way, that this deck is extremely similar to my Felithar deck. It's running a lot of the same pieces. I would actually say that this is just like, hey, did you really want this Felithar to work? Great. This deck will do that. Spirited Simulacrum. Time for Krang. Krang brings 4 cards into hand. They already had 1, so they just draw 3. Mox Opal, that gives them 2 more mana to work with. I take 6.
Ew.
And that's another card in hand. Turtle. Hello. I don't like that you're... Okay. I use Cavern of Souls. Maybe they were just showing me that they have it. Like, check out this! Yeah, that's cool. These Ornithopters have just been, like, soloing this game. Yay! Counters. Beget. Counters. Beget. I'm just eating this food. Listen, if I had something, I would have used it. Once again, Ornithopter. How's Thopters to 2 mana uncommon? Because the choices of the alchemy design team are silly at best. Hey, they gave me a token. Leonardo's like, yay. But they got rid of my only trample. Also, now they have the cityscape leveler. I think it's smart to leave back too. Guess I give these flying. Rosie. Yes, but no on that. This is not an artifact creature. Get those +1/+1s. And I actually can sacrifice this food for 1 because Mutagen Man does the thing. It's got similar text to Gadget here. Similar, but not the same. Cityscape Leveler, I can only prevent 2 damage from it because they can just bonk the Mutagen Man. Yes, I'll get to put... Oh, I guess 3 damage. I'll get to put a +1/+1 counter on everything. But between these Ornithopters and the Cityscape Leveler, I think I'm just dead. Honestly, the Ornithopters, they did it all this game. Put a counter. Put another. And lose. GG, Krang. Cloud X Soldier. I don't have white mana here. Okay, we're gonna mulligan. Cloud X Soldier will be automatically equipping when it enters play, or is it when it attacks? Ah, it's when it enters. Then when it attacks, can draw you cards and make treasures if he's huge. I like this hand enough. It's got a turn 1 Hardened Bonds. Turn 2, am I putting counters on anything? No. But later I will. I'm gonna make tokens and then sacrifice them to Grist. Ooh, Reluctant Role Model. I'm trying to decide between, do I go for this, like, alternate sacrifice line I have here? It would be really cool. I'm gonna do it. Okay, Bitter Blossom. This is in the deck because it makes a token every turn. Tokens is good for Leonardo. Tokens are good for going wide and putting +1/+1 counters on things. Raban! That's another Final Fantasy equipment card that can equip for free. Freya taps for mana for equipment. Grabbing some white mana here. And I'm feeling Grist and a plus, not Grist and a minus. Now, there are a bunch of equipment that they could get here that would be a problem for me. And hopefully they just don't have them. No Swords of Pain and Suffering. No Shadow Spears. None of that. And thankfully this cloud is 5 mana. And they haven't tutored for any equipment yet. Stormforged Armor. That does make a 6/1 that they can... Damn it, there's a Shadow Spear. That they can direct at Grist. But they'll want to equip it first, and then equip this for free. Yep, there goes Grist. Bye, Grist. Grist getting bumped by all lightning. They're also going to gain some life. I'll go for the card draw here. That gives me the choice of the different ones here. I'll swim in with both. And buff. Ah, yeah, I'll buff Mikey. See what I get off Hardened Bonds. Okay, Voice of Victory. I'm going to play the Reluctant Role Model. Next turn, Cloud can happen. And now I'm at 4 mana, so I can play Leonardo. I could have done it there, too. Ooh, Novel Nunchaku. This gives them a fight. Raban still has that lifelink, too. So they're fighting Mikey. I'll move your counters onto Fairy Rogue, which will trigger Hardened Bonds. Gets me 3/3 Scythe Cat Cub. Nice. If they attack in, I will kill Raban. I think they might... Yeah, they might not want to swing here. But they still have 2 mana up if they want to, I don't know, play another equipment. I guess it's worth the damage. I get it. No Raban, no problem. I am down to 9 life, though. And Cloud does get, like, the free equip on this, even though it only costs life otherwise. Oh, Thunderbound Vanguard, you'd be so sick here. I don't get tokens until next turn. Do I live long enough for that? can get the card draw off this. And I'll make it another card draw too. All right, Mikey and Leo, Chaos in order. Just want to check. Are you any counter? Yes, you're any counter. This one is only +1/+1 counters. It means I could technically go for like a lifelink counter on this. Because this will always get me a creature. I'm still going to go for the +1/+1. Triggers and triggers. That is not a land. I could either eat the food or go for the cub. Go, my 3/3 cub. Imagine if I had lands to fall. Imagine if they had a land too. I think they're like, I am 1 mana off of Cloud. Yep. Yes, you are. Three mana, but it can only be used for equipment. Oh, split up. And now they also have a 1 equipment mana. Kind of surprised by that. I'm trying to see, like, if they get a land, do I just die next turn? Voice of Victory, you're just going to be a big butt. I know that I could have gotten, like, double triggers here. Or not triggers, but, like, getting this big, getting that big. Trailblazer's Boots does let them make an unblockable creature. Yeah, we're both stuck on mana here. This is, you know, we're doing our best with what we got. I imagine I have a lot of cheap spells, kind of compared to them. I take 2 for sure. I will, I think, bonk that. Because if I don't, I die. I lose a life. Okay, there is the lands that could have been falling before. Don't mind me, just trying to math things up. What role model gets? Ah, the goose! I can gain a lot of life this turn. Grab myself a basic. Let's go for a plains for Sally. Where's that mutagen? There it is. Yeah, she's got boots on her. Flying. Hi, Cloud. I went from 1 to 11. I feel a lot safer now. Oh, X. Gets to make Goblin Cavalier. Thankfully, this does not currently have haste. And they don't have a way to give it haste. Freya swings in. I can't block her. Can't block the ball lightning. I don't think I need to, though, so I won't. Watch them just have lightning bolt. Good news, they don't. I go to 2. Triggers are happening. Mutagen man, mutagen man. Nah, Sally Pride. Go wide. Leonardo's like, you know, I'm the commander of this deck, not Sally. That's cool. I don't care. I love Sally Pride. I think she's awesome. I think she's the coolest card. And if anybody's like, Amy, why haven't you just built her as commander then? I'm gonna. Mono white doesn't work as well as 3 colors / 5 colors. They're blocking. But our goose is loose. I'm the one who got to 5 mana first. Casey Jones, Vigilante. I have never seen anybody play this commander. It draws when it enters and then discards at random when it's the next turn. It's strange. I don't think you ever really play it on turn 3 unless you're doing graveyard stuff or have madness cards. But I feel like Casey Jones is just kind of funny. So yeah, good on you, opponent, for playing Casey Jones. I ain't no hang-a-back girl. No, I ain't no hang-a-back girl. Trying to decide if I want Mikey plus Rabbit Inspector. Maybe just this. I'm gonna go for just Cosmic Grand Zenith. This is unfortunately the nerfed Heartfire hero that starts as a 0/1. Reckless Charge. They're gonna make this into a big mouse. I'm not blocking. Any thuds? No, light up the stage. More card advantage here. Oh, land in a hall monitor for next turn. Cool. I don't have any landfall, but I have a great double spell. I'm gonna use Windswept Heath. Grab myself a duel. This duel, thank you. Ocelot Pride, plus right in the fridge. And I'm going wide. Swinging with the Cosmic Grand Zenith, it gets a buff, and I'm going to choose to put the counter onto Ocelot Pride. The Hall Monitor. I assume this is just, like, mono red aggro, because I really don't think we have that many good madness cards for it. Especially because he discards at random. Cards Wilden. It only gives you one turn, and I guess you're like next upkeep. But then, because it's discarding at random, you can't like just discard the cards that you had gotten. All right, land. Leonardo. Oop, I did not manually tap there because I was gonna follow up the Thraben Inspector, so I got the counter. Great, fine. Gonna have the count on everything first. Keep buffing you. Yeah, because that one, now I don't get the Cosmic Grand Zenith trigger, and I don't get the Leonardo trigger pre-combat, which... That's on me. I should always be checking with our dear friend, Ottoman Tapperstein. Yeah, we'd have had a very, very, very scary board. We already have a scary board, but... scarier! A Charmin Scoundrel. Make a treasure. Broiling Vortex. Their hand's almost empty. It's almost time. Monkey. Now this deck appears to have a lot of 1 and 2 drops. You know Otto Von Tapper will never do what I ask it to. Rosie? Make it Grosy. You can kill her in response. Yeah, sure. I'll do it now. This should be lethal. Get a counter on her. Gives me less triggers so I don't have to manage Rosie. Swing in, win game. I guess they probably could have survived it with enough blocks. Who knows? Thanks for putting up with me, Casey Jones. I know we're supposed to be friends, because, you know, you're homies with the turtles, but the sports equipment didn't do enough sports. Terra, Magical Adept. Throws things in the graveyard and can bring enchantments back. Oftentimes I feel that this Terra is played as just Reanimator, though, because she's a 5-color commander and she helps with reanimation. It's kind of like how almost every single Mikey and Leo I've seen, not the card called Mikey and Leo, but this Mikey and Leo, has actually just been, you know, 5-color good stuff. Sometimes with an aggro theme, usually with a nothing theme. Since I had fetched, they have access to another mana. They could play Terra this turn. Yeah, it's like, I think that these two, if you're choosing this pair, doing +1/+1 counters and tokens is a really cool way to build this deck. But a lot of people are just like, well, it's 5 colors. They're well-statted creatures that work well with each other. I don't need to actually build synergy with the rest of the deck. Which stinks, man. That also stinks that they just abrupt decayed my dude. It kept me off having way too much mana this turn, though, so fair. Admiral Cub. Up, up, up. I don't have access to black, but I also don't need access to black for these two. All right, Terra, what you got? Or are you not coming out at all? Overlord, okay. That's an enchantment that also does graveyard stuff. Static Prison. Flage went to hand. Okay, they're using this mana for something. Kill spell? Oh, Leyline Binding on the Cub. Alright, we know they'll have this next turn. The, like, boring thing I can do that's also, like, works is just play Thraben Inspector. And use it for card draw. Try to get the 4th and 5th mana. Elspeth would be good. Okay, here comes Terra. Yeah, they're doing that instead of Flage. Okay, I see Cavero, Sawn. Okay, so the fact that I see this Sawn half tells me they're probably running the Broodlord combo. The one that tutors. Why'd you shock that? I don't like that you did that. What do you need 2 mana up for? Also don't have black mana? That's a shame. I'll play the Kami. It'll get killed. I accept it as truth. Pass the turn. Okay, they're just hitting me for 2. Rakshasa's Bargain. Cards in hand, cards in the graveyard. Is this flashback? Oh, that's a Faithful Soothing. I thought that was the devil guy with, Alliance. Nope, just a devil-looking fella. The cards they put in the graveyard include Arden. Yeah, definitely more focused on the Reanimator side of this Terra. Are you gonna Flage the Kami? I would Flage the Kami here. Unless they're going for, like, a reanimation. No. Here we go. Here's Flage. Flage hits the Kami. Black mana, please. Okay, you know what? It is black mana. Rat. I could have also named Noble. I am, of course, of a noble sort. Alright, so there is the Flage that can come out here. I'm hitting Arden. And my creatures are extremely expendable, so... Thraben Inspector, go die to protect my Lord Skitter. Lord Skitter now does not die to Flage. Yay! Doing what I can. Here comes Flage. Flage kills Mikey. How a bummer, dude. How a bummer indeed, Michelangelo the Heart. Tara's swinging in. Oh, I'll take 4. Five cards left in their graveyard. Cool. Okay, can I keep Elspeth alive a turn with the +1? Because if I can, I have a really great turn after. I think I can. I'm going to try. Alternately, if I minus, I can exile the Flage from the graveyard and still block. Yes. Really hoping they don't just kill Lord Skitter here. Okay, yeah, we passed the combat. Good. Hit the Flage. Win the game. All right. For anybody who's wondering what's going to happen after, we're able to block. I can now trade these away very freely. The turn after, we're going to be doubling up tokens. Thunderbond Vanguard, all creature tokens are Thunderbond Vanguards. The Rat, also going to be a Thunderbond Vanguard. Mutagen Man, not going to make creature tokens, is going to make double tokens though, which is assuming I have just the mana I have there, would be at least 2. That's more +1/+1 counters. Elspeth's making tokens. We're going crazy on it and setting up to win the game. GG. Hey, bye, Forest Guardian. You know what that does. It gets you shrines, puts them into play. This is kind of slow against them, but it has card advantage. It's got scales. It's got double scales. I think I'm going to keep this and just kind of hope I'm able to line it all up. Oh, hi, Ocelotl. Also, that's especially cute with Michelangelo, since you can, that one. You can eat the food to gain life. Yay. I feel like playing the Mikey first. Mikey to cat. I'm going with the cat. I know that they can have the hay buyout next turn, but that's fine with me. This is Ocelotl. Bloodstained Mire. A Watery Grave. And here comes Heibai in the first shrine they hit. All right, I need to see what they revealed. Okay. A Supreme Verdict and Honden of Seeing Winds. Well, I hate that. Not much I can do about it, though. I'm going to shock this in, play the Kami of Whispered Hopes, and hope that it lives until next turn. Yeah, if they're only running the card draw shrines, then it means this is not Heibai Shrines, it is Heibai Control. Which is, I would say, much, much harder for me to deal with. Scythe Cat Cub. Scythe Cat Cub, yes or no? They're thinking. Okay, congratulations. Landfall. Try to put counters onto the Kami. Get some cards off Hardened Bonds. I'm going to try to do it again. That also resolved. That's good for me. Michelangelo, weirdness to 11. Resolved. This is weird. Large cat. I assume they have a blink for the bear? Well, if it's a board wipe, it's a board wipe. This is weird and I don't like it. Maybe Damnation off the top? Actually, is that white? Now one's tapping for blue. Put it all on the commie. At least it'll make a deluge the more expensive. 2 cats, 2 food. They draw a card. They could replay Hey Bye. They're just replaying Hey Bye. Alright, let's see what else gets revealed here. Okay, so they're absolutely the control version. You see that I have Farewell, Day of Judgment. We saw that there's Temporal, Expropriate. Wow. So I don't think they have any other shrines in their deck other than the card draw shrines. So again, I gotta set up some replacement effects. Loads of replacement effects. Fake Hey Bye. They probably had a board wipe in hand and didn't realize. Okay, these are all identical effects. Up. They probably didn't realize that they didn't have double white. We kill Hey Bye. I think we just win the game, though. Yeah, that's lethal. Good work. +1/+1 counters. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Leonardo and Mikey are very good Abzan scale / tokens commanders, which, yeah, makes sense. I think that part of it is that, you know, you get to have 2 commanders and they work with each other. This is one of those, like, I think that partners commanders are very annoying since you don't start with like 1 less card in your hand. You just always have access to 2 additional cards, which feels kind of unfair to me, especially if the cards are both good, like these ones are, and most partner commanders seem to be. I feel like this is a deck, though, that is probably the best Abzan Scales commander we have. Even though it's 2 different guys, I feel like it's the best choice. It definitely worked better than Felithar. It felt more resilient. It feels like these are just really good abilities. And it plays really nicely with a lot of recent cards we've gotten, whether it's Badgermole, Cubs, the Mikey and Leo, and of course, all of the different things that increase our +1/+1 counters, of which we have 4 or 5 in these colors that also are creatures at that 2-mana slot. It's really nice. I feel this deck is kind of letting me play something that I can do in just Selesnya, but if we add in black, oh, it just gets so much more fun. Hi, Grist. In fact, Grist is the reason that this deck has black in it. You could cut all the black cards from this deck. You'd miss out on these 2 really good Scales cards, but you would be able to just add in a little bit more Selesnya stuff. Now, if you want to make this actually 5 colors, because Leonardo is 5 colors, add in Ragavan, add in Tamio, add in all of the busted cards that are just good stuff. And they don't even need to care about tokens or counters. Those 2 happen to, but just play it as good stuff because you have 5 colors, you have good cards, and you can. Which is unfortunate, and it's one of the reasons why I really don't like 5-color commanders, and I tried to restrict this deck to 3 colors when I was doing my deck building. I think that it makes the deck more interesting, and it limits it. It's going to increase your consistency, and that stuff's really, really good. Also, like the Scales theme, definitely works best in these colors. Also, I'm really a huge fan of Lord Skitter in this deck because of it makes a token and it's graveyard hate. We have lots of on-theme graveyard hate in this deck. Lord Skitter, Emperor of Bones, and the Ooze, which just feels so good to me. I love having graveyard hate that also does the thing the deck wants to do. And that's what it does. If you're looking for my deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander for me to brew, please let me know. If you'd like to see the 5-color pile version of this, actually don't let me know because I don't feel like brewing that. But you can still tell me, like, Amy, I really want to see it with Ragavan in it. Okay, now just picture the deck, except sometimes I have Ragavan. That's it. Perfect. Excellent work, Amy. You've done it. Thank you all so much for watching and have a brawlful day.